Look at this! Look at all these movies! Alright guys, welcome back to a brand new Flick Trip video, and I'm entering in Mega Replay, and I'm going to give you the play-by-play with my narration and my Morgan Freeman voice. My name is Morgan Freeman, and this is a Flick Trip video. Alright, so typically when I come here, they don't have many 4Ks in their selection, but today I was pleasantly surprised. This is what I typically assumed would be their selection. Nothing too great, but like there's a few movies I might need for my collection, like $6 for Jason Bourne, not a bad deal. One of the worst Arnold Schwarzenegger movies of all time, Red Heat. I've never been a fan of that movie. I could never really get through all of it. And then I start cruising around to go to the old, dusty DVD area. And by the way, I'm actually combining two trips I took to Mega Replay into one video, so all of the movies you see were over the course of 2 trips here. But I realized on this second trip that you're watching right now, is they had a great deal going on where you could buy any 3 movies, this includes 4Ks, and get 3 for free. So that got me really hyped up. But typically over here on this counter, they put out new movies, new items, new releases that they haven't actually put out on the shelves yet. So as you can see right there on the left, there's a shit ton of DVDs. But right here, I found some 4K movies waiting just for me. Now, Mary Poppins, don't want it. There's a few other movies in here I don't really need, don't really want. And then 1917, really good movie, but I don't necessarily need it on 4K. Spider-Man No Way Home, I already own. The Mule, the worst Clint Eastwood movie I've seen in a very long time. Top Gun, already own it. A lot of these I already own, but if you guys were new to starting a collection, this would be like an amazing find. And some of these deals were like $6, $7, but the majority of them were around $10. Now, I thought this was a 4K for 2 seconds, then I realized it was the Blu-ray, which, by the way, I do want Independence Day on 4K at some point. Yeah, as you can see, there's just a ton of movies here. Nobody, I liked it. It's sort of like a mix of John Wick meets Home Alone, but I don't think I would watch it again. I already own Shutter Island. The Gentleman, I think I own on 4K. Just tons of movies here. A lot of Blu-rays mixed in there. Ooh, Scarface. Okay, let's hide. By the way, I'm gonna pretend like I'm looking at Wanted with Angelina Jolie. Oh yeah, that's a really good movie. Let me read the synopsis for the next 2 minutes, but really I'm going to talk to you guys, so don't go anywhere. This is the most excited I've felt about physical media since like 2012. They have a huge selection of 4K titles over there. Someone must have brought in their entire movie collection. But hey, just for me, the prices are reasonable. Everything's like $8 to $10, which I think is a fair deal for a 4K title. Just that picture quality, that resolution, that HDR just lights up the pixels on my OLED TV. And then right here, I debate getting the Matrix sequels. I already love the first one. I already own it on 4K, but just to be completist, I almost bought the sequels, but then I decided, I'll never watch these again. And then right before I'm about to leave, the guy pushes out another cart with 50 more movies on it, and I just felt like I jismed in my pants. Okay, like I said, it's buy 3, get 3 free. The problem is, I found 3 I want to buy, but now I can't find 3 more that I want for free. Like, I'm trying to be picky. I don't want to just get stuff to get it. So far I have King Kong, X-Men First Class, Scarface, Superman Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Super Duper Edition. We'll talk about all of these momentarily. And I have Clockwork Orange, which, great Kubrick movie, but do I want to watch this on a rainy day? It takes a lot out of you to watch this movie. It's like kind of depressing. You don't really want to sit down and eat pizza and watch a Clockwork Orange on a rainy day, especially with the family. There's some violent things in this movie that are a little bit unsavory. So how many movies? 4, 5. I have 5. I just need 1 more. Okay, let's find 1 more movie. By the way, guys, the DVD section in here, I talk about this every time I'm in here. Just look at how many movies they have, how many dusty, old, dirty DVDs they have. And the thing is, a lot of the prices have not been updated in over a decade. So I feel like they have deals here where you can buy like 1 DVD and get 87 for free, or at least that's what they should be doing, judging by, like, look at this. What is this right here? Look at Hitch. Look how many copies of Hitch they have. What is that, 8,000 copies of Hitch? Every copy of Hitch is actually located right here, right now. So if you need Hitch, guys, come and get it. Don't say I didn't help you out. Hey there guys, I'm back in the Flick Cave now, and it's time to dive into all this goodness. This is the largest stack of 4Ks I have bought in a very long time, but it's not just this stack here. I have an entire another bag of movies I bought today. I have not bought this many movies in probably years. But before we dive into this, I first want to give a quick mention to the sponsor of this video, Skillshare, because without them, well, I probably couldn't afford to buy these movies. So I'll see you guys in just a few seconds. Don't go anywhere. Big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community where you can take thousands of online classes. Let me tell you something about me. When it comes to learning new things, I almost become addicted to the point where I stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning on Skillshare taking new classes. Like what kind of classes, John? Well, they include video editing, audio editing, graphic design, anything I can use to improve my YouTube videos and just make them look slightly better. Another class I recently took was called DIY Cinematography, Make Your Video Look Like a Movie by Ryan Booth. Maybe you're a graphic designer or a filmmaker or a guy who makes YouTube videos like me, but there's classes on there that can help you improve what you're doing. Because my goal in 2022 is to make what I'm already doing better. There's new premium classes launched every week. It's ad-free so you can stay in the zone while exploring new skills. The best part is the first 1,000 people who use my link down below get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Yeah, it's free. Check it out. Why not? Explore your creativity, learn a new skill. The link is down below. As always, guys, thanks for listening. Let's get back to the video. Alright, let's talk about some movies, and I'll go through each and every single one of these. I'll talk about it for a few seconds and tell you what I paid for it. So, without further ado, here we go. It's Man of Steel. Now, I paid $12.99 for this, and it's going for around double that on eBay. This is actually kind of hard to find, and this is a 4K I wanted to buy for a very, very long time. And I actually... years ago, I made a flick trip going to buy the special edition of Man of Steel on Blu-ray, and this is a really cool release. So I almost want to take the 4K disc out of here and put it into this, which is really cool. It opens up. Yeah, you guys can find this video on this channel from like 2013, but I don't know. Do you think I should do that? Should I take the 4K out of here and put it in there? But either way, I like Man of Steel. I always thought it was sort of underrated and overhated, and I like it. Okay, next up we have a lot of Star Wars movies here, and because the prices just felt right to me, I had to buy all of these on 4K because streaming to me is just no longer good enough. And I know a lot of people say, John, why do you buy physical media when you can just watch it on streaming? I'll tell you why. Audio quality and picture quality are far superior on an optical disc. I'll give you an example. Even if you watch a 4K stream of Avengers Infinity War, the bit rate is what you have to look at, and the bit rate of physical media is about 5 to 6 times more than that of streaming. So it's going to look 5 or 6 times better. So either way, let's just dive into it. I have Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the prequels. I do have a weird nostalgic love for Phantom Menace, but either way, this was $10. And the thing is, if I buy all 3 originals on 4K, I have to buy the prequels. You know, it's like, now will I buy like Rise of Skywalker? I don't know if I could buy that shit. But then I have Star Wars Attack of the Clones. By far the hardest Star Wars movie to get through, in my opinion. That and Rise of Skywalker. Then I have Star Wars The Phantom Menace, which, listen, a lot of people crap on this movie. I saw this, and this is the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters as a kid. And it has a special place in my heart. And plus, hey, if for nothing else, the pod race scene is fun, and also the showdown between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan is pretty badass. And plus, Duel of the Fates are playing. That sequence alone is worth getting through the rest of the movie. Oh yeah, Jar Jar Binks exists in the movie too. But either way. Then you have Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Obviously, I had to buy this. This was $10. And then you have Return of the Jedi, which I've always really enjoyed Return of the Jedi. I like the Ewoks. I don't know why. I've always wanted to own an Ewok. Like, buy one, put it in my closet, and just hang out with it when I'm bored. Take that how you will. This was $10. And then we have A New Hope, which was also $10. Next up is also the first Iron Man movie at $10 on 4K. This is the one that started everything, and I still think it stands up today. Now, they had Iron Man 2 and 3 there, and I'm sort of, here's my thing. I'm sort of a completist at times. Like, that's why I bought the prequels. But at the same time, like, I don't want Iron Man 2 or 3 or Thor Dark Elf shit. I just can't bring myself to spend money on things like that, because I know for a fact I will never watch those. But maybe on a rainy day, I would watch one of the prequel movies. So this was $10. The original Thor movie is $10. In my opinion, this doesn't really hold up that well anymore. I much prefer something like Thor Ragnarok. Then you have Captain America, Civil War, $10. The first Captain America, which a lot of people don't love. I like this movie. I think the first like act or two of this movie are phenomenal. I love when it takes place in the 1940s and you have little mutated skinny Captain America. It sort of reminds me of myself before I started working out. I looked like a skinny alien addicted to heroin. So I sort of relate to young Steve Rogers before the super soldier serum in this movie. But yeah, for $10, you can't beat it. Then you have Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Obviously, had to get this for $10. Avengers Age of Ultron. Easily my least favorite of the Avengers movies. Just something about the color grading of this movie I never really liked. It looks way too warm. It's almost like a sepia tone at times, which I don't like that look in the majority of movies. But either way, that's a weird complaint, I know. But yeah, overall, I do like some scenes in this movie. I don't think I'll go back and revisit it anytime soon, though. The first Avengers, obviously, had to get it, $10. And Shang-Chi, which I just put in my top 10 movies of 2021 list. You should watch that video over on the Flick Big channel. This was also $10. I thought that was a really good deal for a brand new Marvel movie that just came out. So $10. And then we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. You know what? I think I own this on 4K already. But this was also $10. Now, let's dive into this big black bag of goodness here. By the way, I just picked all of these up today. You guys watched the clips of me going back today, so that was only like a few hours ago. And what happened was I went there and they had a few titles laying out, and they also had a deal going on where if you bought 3 movies, you got 3 for free, and they would give you the lower cost movies for free, which that's a phenomenal deal. So I think on this entire bag of movies, I spent about $100. And when you see how many movies I have in here and some of the quality of the movies, I don't know, I was impressed by it. It was almost too enticing not to do it. So you are going to have Jurassic Park 4K in your 4K collection. Yes, I am, Jeff Goldblum. The first one up, and I've been meaning to buy this for a very long time. It was $24.99. Now, keep in mind, once I bought this, I could get something for free. So that's my justification. And I think at one time, the price was close to this, or maybe it was a little bit more. But either way, this comes with all the Jurassic Park films. It also comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray releases of the films as well. It has all 5 movies in there. I love the first 2 Jurassic Park films. The third one, I can watch on like a rainy day. All the Jurassic World movies, I really don't care about. If they never existed, it would not matter to me whatsoever in life. But with all of that said, I had to buy this. You have to own Jurassic Park on 4K. You just have to. And for $25 and getting a free movie, easy justification. So basically, by buying that, I got this for free. Yeah, it's all the Planet of the Apes films, the trilogy by Matt Reeves, who's directing the upcoming movie, The Batman, my #1 most anticipated movie of the year. But I sort of was like on a Matt Reeves kick lately. I don't think I own this. Maybe I own one or two of these movies, which now I can trade in. But either way, I have all 3 on 4K now. I actually really enjoy the first one with James Franco. I just like, it's like an origin story, and I sort of like that. I don't know, it made me want to own like a little monkey or something. I went from wanting to own Ewoks to monkeys in this video, but take it how you will. So anyway, this was $15, but keep in mind, I did get this for free. Next up, and I did show this in the video, but Clockwork Orange, this was $18, which is about what it goes for on Amazon, but the one on Amazon didn't have a slipcover. Now, the thing about this, it's a Stanley Kubrick film. It's one of the greatest films ever made, but it's not necessarily a film I need to go back and ever rewatch or revisit because, like I said, it's got some seedy stuff in it, and like I don't mind movies with like a dark tone, like Silence of the Lambs, which I find highly rewatchable. I just don't find this that rewatchable. But keep in mind, by buying another movie, I essentially got this for free. So I was like, I have to get it. It has to go in my collection. And plus, just look at that slipcover. And I know this has to look good on 4K. All right, the next one is Fly But I Can Fly. Hey, Ma, her womb is so polluted, she can't have a little baby, man. That's a terrible Tony Montana impression. But either way, I like Scarface. I always have. I liked this before it became like really popular by rappers putting images of Tony Montana on their walls. But I think overall it's like a crime drama film. And it just feels like something ripped out of the early 1980s, just the vibe and style. And I love the score and the music in this film. It just sets the tone perfectly. So I had to pick this up on 4K. And I actually own the Blu-ray Steelbook, which I did an unboxing of that like 10 years ago on YouTube, and I snorted baby powder. Go find that if you're bored. All right, before I dive into this, just hear me out for a second. This Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, I have crapped on quite a few times in my life. It's a film that I like less every time I watch it. But with all that said, it was $10. Technically, I got this for free. It was buy one, get one. Keep in mind, I bought 3 movies, got 3 for free. And there are moments in this film I like. I just wish the rest of the movie was like that. For example, the Batman warehouse sequence in this movie. I love that. It's 5 minutes of gloriness. And then you have like another hour and a half of Jesse Eisenberg doing weird stuff that I hate. So it's a take and give relationship when it comes to this movie. But with all that said, the Blu-ray of this has always looked amazing on my LG OLED TV. It's always looked like amazing. So I can only imagine the 4K is going to look really good. Will I watch this anytime soon? Probably not, but I had to put it in my collection. You guys know me when it comes to Batman movies. If I own Batman and Robin on 4K, I have to own Batman v Superman on 4K. I just have to. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. All right, continuing on with the superhero movies. Am I recording? Yes, I am. It's X-Men First Class. And this was $13, which I thought would only be like $10, but I guess this is sort of hard to come by. This is the price it goes for on eBay, sometimes more. Really always enjoyed this. I love the sort of backstory of Magneto in this film, how he was in the Holocaust and he's just kicking Nazi ass in this film. And originally they were going to make a Magneto solo movie, but then they scrapped that and just combined some of those ideas into this film, which I think was the better idea. But yeah, I've always really enjoyed X-Men First Class. Next up, and if you guys have been watching my channel for a while now, you know I don't necessarily love this movie. I have a lot of complaints. I could complain about this movie for an hour and a half if I really wanted to. I won't do that. Next up is Interstellar. Now, I feel like this is a film that will look beautiful on 4K. I think just the wide scope of the space shots are going to look great on 4K. There's a lot of story elements in this movie that I hate. I truly hate. Like the Casey Affleck storyline, and then like Murph, like just little things like that in the movie that drive me crazy. And by the end of the movie, I have even more complaints than I had halfway through the movie. But it'll look great on 4K. And there's a lot of cool things in this movie, a lot of great scenes I enjoy, but I just felt like I needed to watch it on 4K. Okay. Next up is my favorite movie of 2019, Parasite, for $8. I've been meaning to buy this for the last few Black Fridays, and it was like $10, $12. I'm like, I'll find it cheaper. And I did for $8. Now, the unfortunate thing about this is I just watched this with a friend who had never seen this movie, and I showed it to them for the first time just like a week ago, and they loved it. But the reason I say that is I wish I didn't watch it a week ago on a streaming service, so I could have savored the flavor and watched the 4K. So nevertheless, a great film. I want it in my collection, especially on 4K. I feel like I'm talking really fast right now. It's getting late. I have a lot to do, and I'm all hyped up on caffeine, so that's why. All right, next up is Alien on 4K. I thought I owned this. I guess, like, I came home and thinking I already owned this, but I had to buy it just in case I didn't. It's Alien, the something anniversary edition. This was $13. I don't know if that was necessarily a good deal. Now, I was hoping they would have Aliens on 4K, which, is Aliens out on 4K, or is it just Alien? I don't think I've seen Aliens on 4K. But either way, I had to buy it on 4K. Okay, it's going to get a little bit interesting now. Next up is Boys in the Hood for $19.99, $20 for this steelbook. Now, it is a steelbook. I didn't look up the prices for this. It might be worth it. It might be worth more. I can assure you that this is out of print probably, and it will only go up in value, which is why I justified buying it. And plus, once again, I didn't really spend $20 necessarily. I bought one thing and got this for free. So really, I only paid like $10 for this, if you want to do the math on it. But either way, really cool steelbook. It comes with the Blu-ray, even has the digital copy in there. And I had to pick it up. And by the way, years ago, back in 2014, I actually got to interview Morris Chestnut because he was starring in a new series with Sean Bean, and he stars in this film as Ricky! All right, this one's gonna need some explaining. How do I justify this purchase? Okay. I love the original Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser from 1999. I think that's a fun, bombastic, big budget B movie. The second one has some of the worst CG ever with The Rock as the Scorpion King. For some odd reason, I bought this for $20. All three movies. Is it three movies? One, two, three. Yeah, all three movies. And The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, I just think is. I watched like 15 minutes of that one day and I was like, this is garbage. So why did I buy this? I don't know. I think I just wanted the original Mummy on 4K. And plus, I was using the justification of buy one, get one free, basically. Yeah, it comes with all of the movies in here. This might have been the worst purchase of like the week. But now I own it. And last but certainly not least is Gremlins, the Steelbook. This was $15. Now, would I ever pay $15 for this? Probably not, just like I probably wouldn't pay $20 for the Mummy trilogy on 4K, but I did. But really, like I said, it was the deal that enticed me to buy this. Now, I don't own Gremlins. I don't think I even own the DVD of it. So owning the 4K Steelbook I thought was really cool. And I think the price of this was worth more on eBay, or at least the one I saw. So, okay, and if you're not a mathematician and you're adding up how much I spent on all of those movies, I'll tell you right now. I have the receipts right here. Carry the one. So I spent $264 for all of those films. Now, I basically have 30 movies, but some of those are box sets that have like 6 movies in them. Some have 3. So yeah, $264 for all of those things. Which, for 30 plus movies, I think that's a pretty good deal, especially when they're all on 4K, and some of them are new releases and steelbooks. So here's my question for you, and let me know down below. Did you think that was a good deal? Would you spend that amount of money in all of those movies? Yeah, let me know down below. I'm curious. Like, really tell me. I want to know. The thing is, a lot of these movies I wanted in my collection. I wanted to upgrade a lot of my movies that I had on Blu-ray to 4K. Some of these maybe I could have lived without, like the Mummy movies, or at least the sequels to the original Mummy movie. But yeah, I don't really regret anything I've done today, and plus it made for a fun video. So as always, guys, leave your thoughts, your opinions down below, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to go watch some movies.